welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm doing something different today, and I'm really hoping that it is the first and beginning of, I don't know, of something significant, meaningful and beautiful. I opened my YouTube channel just because, I felt I had something to contribute to the online community, and but over time I've come to realize that it looks like I want to do something while I'm doing those other regular YouTube stuff. I feel like this is an opportunity for me to start something that I've always wanted to do. I've always my platform, and this is something I've created for myself. So I feel like if it's going to start from anywhere, it should probably start from here. And I held off for a while because I felt like I needed a large audience. Like I needed my subscribers to grow a lot before I started. But I've come to realize that this is how some people keep waiting and waiting forever, and things do not happen or change for them. So I decided to just stop that. So today is the first episode of a series I'm starting on my YouTube channel, the Woman Series, TWS, and basically I'm going to be inviting women on here as long as they're willing to talk to me. We'll be talking about everything that has to do with women. Basically, I feel like there are a whole lot of things that young people, young women, young ladies and girls do not know, and when people who are older or who are more experienced share their experiences, it helps to make things maybe a little bit easier, because life is actually pretty hard for an average Nigerian woman, or maybe any woman in the world. So I'm going to be doing this first series with an amazing friend. She, from the moment I threw this idea out to her, she supported it immediately. She made me realize that if I ever needed her to come on it, she was more than willing to do it, which was why I felt like it was only proper that she did this first episode with me. Her name is Shola Abe. She's very passionate about women health, empowerment, girls, and all of that good stuff basically. And I'm really proud that she's my friend, and she's very spiritual as well. I like that about her. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. We had a blast, talking and laughing and all of that. So yeah, enjoy. Hey guys, so with me on my channel is Shola. Shola is a friend, a very dear friend. Let them know you are dear friend. She's a very dear friend and a journalist. Then she is very passionate about women and girls health, right? Health and well-being. So Shola and I will be discussing a really important topic. Like I said earlier, I'd always known I wanted to do something different with my YouTube channel, different from what I've been doing before now, and I think this is the right opportunity. So like we know, like as Nigerians, and I'm speaking for myself as Yoruba, you get to a particular age where you're expected to be married, to have your life in order, and ultimately become somebody's wife, right? But sometimes things happen and you're not in that space at a particular age, and then when it gets to say like your late 20s, it starts to look like there's no hope for you, and I don't know, it just feels like that part of you has failed, kind of, right? Yeah, so today we'll be discussing, okay, so the title for this first series is Almost 30 and Unmarried, right? And I don't know, I'm never going to take anyone's vulnerability for granted. Anyone who decides to come on here on this session, on this series, to talk about whatever it is they want to talk about, ultimately women anyway, because yeah, we're going to be talking relatable stuff. So we're going to get into it right now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready? So I have a couple of questions written here that I'm going to be asking her, and she's going to just try to talk about it. Basically, this is just to kind of like, I don't know, should I say create awareness and let people out there know that sometimes you're like in a particular position or a spot and you're starting to think it's just you, right? But then there are like other people who are also in the same situation, and it's ultimately not the end of the world. And while you think they're having it bad, so people are out here winging it regardless, right? Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask you do you feel a kind of way, maybe like sad or uncomfortable talking about your age? Like, this is how old I am. When they say you, how old are you? How old are you? Do you feel somehow uncomfortable telling people how old you are?
No, I actually no. I've never felt that way. In fact, I am happy. I am always happy to let people know how old I am, because naturally I look small. I don't look my age, and
There's a difference. See, she looks actually small right now.
so I don't look my age. So I think I started being open about my age at I think when I was 24 or 25. I
Yeah.
really can't remember, but then with me, I just feel age is just a part of your life, and it shouldn't be something you should hide. If you want to hide it, fine. If you don't want to hide it, fine. But then I've never been in a position where
You would have to like
Yeah,
lie
I would
about
have
your
to not
age
lie.
or not talk about it.
really.
Yeah, because we have
Nah.
cases of ladies who would declare themselves younger than they are just because they don't want to be seen as like.
I believe people have their different reasons. I believe people have different realities. Like people have different reasons. But for me, no, I've never tried to
Felt
reduce.
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
felt uncomfortable about my age, or felt that I should reduce it or increase it or something.
It's just like
me.
that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Alright, so next question. I know a couple of girls who are like, say, 18, 19 at the moment, and they are like, oh my god, when I finish school by 21, I said by 22, I work from 22 to 25, and I get married. And while it works out, while it works out for some people, it does not. For the record, I've never been that kind of girl.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm a bit weird.
Okay.
I've never been all the marriage and all of that. So I've never been that kind of girl. But have you at any particular point, before you got to this point in your life, have you ever said that, okay, at 20 something, I have to go to my husband's house?
Yeah, I was that kind of girl. I wanted to get married at 25, like, because then my education was really fast. At 22, I was done with NYSC. I started working. I think a year after my PGD, I finished PGD by 23, and 24 I was working. I was earning, the bare minimum. You go to school, when you
done,
finish from school, you serve.
Yeah.
You get a job, and I was ready. I was ready to. So, at 25, I wanted to get married, but it didn't happen. Like, it didn't happen, and well, here we are.
Here we are.
On this episode, on this channel.
Well, let us get a little bit more serious into what exactly we want to talk about.
Okay.
So before now, have you been in any relationship, like any great relationship that you probably thought like, oh my god, this is the person? Have you ever been in any?
Yeah, I have. Yes, in school. While I was in school, there was a great guy I dated when I was in 200 level until my 400 level. But then motto now enter our things, and he now jam up. So yeah, I've had great relationships, and I've had relationships that thinking
Like
about
even
it
after
today,
that person.
even after that person, it's been complicated. You know that thing on your Facebook where they say
In a relationship where like it's complicated.
Yeah, it's been complicated. So I wouldn't really say I went, because when you date someone for 3 months, and then one day they wake up to say, oh, I'm not interested. This person pursues you for months, and then you say, okay, let's give it a try, and 2 or 3 months later, this person is saying
starts
something,
acting
shatters your heart. And
yeah,
so
I can
yeah, I've
relate.
had good relationships, and I've had bad ones. So
But in your case, you are not married and you're single, which means that there is actually no prospect of walking down the aisle with anyone soon. So like, is there a particular reason? Is there a reason? You know that there are people who are single by choice. Like, it's not as if they don't want to. It's not as if they don't have people to get into relationships with.
Okay.
So you being single at this point, despite your age, is it by choice?
okay, yeah. So I will say that I haven't met the person, and when I talk about the person, it's not something out of the ordinary. When you're talking about the person, people feel like, oh, who is she waiting for? What is it about this person she's waiting for?
Yeah.
You get to a point in your life. I'm 29, by the way, and you get to a point in your life, you know that you can't just be with anybody. Why? Because you've caught a glimpse of where you want to be, where you're going to, who can go on this journey with you. Do you understand? And so I am in that place where I know that, oh, this is the future that I want. This is the future that I want to
The kind
be
of place
in.
you
Yeah,
want
the
to
kind of
be
place
in.
I want to be. Yeah, the kind of place I want to be in. So the person that I will say yes to has to meet some criteria. Do you understand? Has
Yeah.
to have some what's it now? Some characteristics before I say okay. Oh, yeah. So I think that is just the reason. It's not out. It's not because of not because of anything extraordinary.
Yeah.
I've actually not just met
Seeing
the
that
person.
particular
Yeah,
person. Okay,
yeah.
this is not supposed to be the next question, but since you talked about someone having characteristics, now there's something people call like they have is it criteria for people to meet, and then ultimately people are like, oh, your bar is too high, your bar is just normal,
I've
your
heard
bar
that,
is
yeah.
low, and all of that. So in your own case, do you
Yeah.
think that we are where we are right now because your bar is too high?
I don't believe there's anything called or there's a standard that is too high.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you can't meet a standard, if you can't meet someone else's standard, go to a standard you can.
Where you can
do
meet.
you understand? So for me, it's about, there are just some things for me that are basic, but they are necessary. Some basic things are actually necessary things.
Necessary
Most
things,
of the time.
yeah.
So for me, it's been about I don't joke with my spiritual life. Like, it's not just because I'm a Christian, the Christian tag. Like, I'm a child of God.
So in essence, so it's not like your bar is high,
No.
but you've just not met someone who qualifies for everything that you have, right?
Yes.
Right. So it is worthy of note that Shola she's a woman, she's Nigerian, and most importantly, she's Yoruba. Yeah. And in a Yoruba household, if you are pure, like, it gets to once you're done with school, you're done with service, you start working and you start earning money to an extent. The next question that comes is, when are you getting married? And then when you have family functions and all those aunties come to your house, the next thing is, I want bros that. Is your bros lost, ma? Are you looking for your bros? And then it gets to a particular point that even your friends, even like random people, you understand? This is kind of stupid pressure and expectations.
Yeah.
So how do you handle pressure generally? Let's start from your home, because obviously everybody in your house expects you to get married at some point. So how do you handle pressure?
Yeah, I'm thankful for my family, really. They are a great support system. My parents are not in some areas, they are not the typical African parents or the typical Nigerian parents.
Yeah.
So I don't live with my parents, and when I visit them, my father is like, Shola, what's up? What is happening? And it took me a while to understand that the fact that I do not live with them is the reason why he always wants to know what's happening
up with you.
me.
Yeah.
So the moment I realized that, I was comfortable telling them what is happening. So, and I realized sometimes he would call me and be like, don't worry, I'm not rushing you, I'm not asking you to, I want you to be sure of who you are bringing
whoever
home.
it is you're bringing.
I don't want you.
Yeah.
So from my parents, there's been no pressure really. There's been no form of pressure from my parents. But
so how about external pressures like relatives, friends?
Relatives, really? Relatives, like, I don't understand how but then from relatives, nah, I don't have relatives who are nosy
like that.
Like, no.
I think you're pretty lucky. Some of us are not so lucky. Despite the fact that I'm not even as old as you are, like, I know what some of my aunties talk about when they eventually remember to, call me.
There's been no pressure from home. It's been pretty good. But then external pressure from people, from friends in quotes, from friends in quotes, from some people that
maybe like you're close with.
Some people I trust, like some people I just feel like, oh, this person is elderly and I can trust them with this. The pressure at a point in my life, because of my marital life, I almost, fell into depression, and it was really a bad time, like really, really a bad period for me.
Yeah, depression
really a bad
is
period,
terrible,
for me.
I think nobody should.
Really a bad period for me. But then I remembered something my uncle told me, and he said that, Shola, you need to know those who matter and those who do not matter. There are some people, when they ask you about your marital life, it is because they genuinely care about you. It is not because they are nosy or because they want to know what's up or anything, because they genuinely care about you. And there are some people, they just want to know what is happening in your life, maybe to laugh at you or to get you
or
to
just have that information at hand.
Yeah, right now, you can't just, if you ask me a question about my marital life, I'm not somebody, I'm actually open. So the thing I do is I determine if you are genuine or you just want to have that information. If you are genuine, because sometimes we need to share our stories to help some people. When you want to run somehow, I know how to bring you down.
Because,
they are in Lagos together.
May they no go run you
Like,
straight.
but then for pressure, there's also this pressure that comes from you to you.
Personally.
Yes, if you can manage that pressure, if you can tell yourself, sometimes it's really hard, sincerely, when you're at a stage where you should have something and you don't have it. I'm not even I'm not going to come here and form strong. There are days I cry, there are days I'm lonely. I'm thankful for friends, I'm thankful for family.
I'm part of the friends.
You know, I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful for close uncles and aunties who know uncles really. You know,
But people who are in your circle who understand you.
Yes, who understand these things. Because there are times that when I'm down, I go to them and they support me with words of encouragement. You. And one thing that really that it is worthy of note is that they don't play down on my feelings. Like, Shala, why are you not crying? Is it because of mine? Is it because of...
I understand that people do that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That,
you know, I don't like. They don't play down on my emotions. They don't play down on my feelings. They understand that, oh, Shala, I'm so sorry. And, you know, they share their stories to encourage me. And, you know, it really goes a long way.
So you just talked about friends in this discussion we just had now. And which brings me to the question. I'm sure that in the course of your life, let's even leave school out. In the course of your life from after school up to this moment, I'm very sure you would have friends who were single with you or who were in relationship with you at some point, and now they are married. So, and then I've heard this thing about especially female friends changing towards their single friends, because all of a sudden it looks like they are now at a higher level, or they've climbed one extra ladder that you have not.
Yeah.
So do you have friends like that? How do you feel about them?
Oh, okay. So I have married. In fact, I think 70% of my friends, like my close friends, are married. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I'm grateful for the friends I have. Shala to you guys. You know, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my friends. Really, none of them, you know, none of them has changed
towards
me because they are married or because they are this or that. None of them. Yes, you know, I'm grateful for them, and as a matter of fact, they know that I am a friend who is happy for them.
Yeah.
So when they are getting married, or when they are getting married, they invite me. I go there, I dance, I slay. As a matter of fact, I like slaying, you know. I slay, I dance, they know they are happy. And after the wedding or this thing, I ask them questions. They know I'm not nosy. They know that I just want
You just want to know.
I'm just asking, do you understand? You know, because I'm believing that mine will happen soon. Do you understand? So, my friends have not in any way, you know, changed
because they got married.
Because I'm now Mrs.
Is there something you're doing now that you think that maybe if you were with someone, you would not have been able to do it?
Okay, so I think that I want to put this in the right way. So it cuts across for this question is, how do I say it now? It's actually different for different people.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Like,
so for me, it actually made me more aware. Being single at my age made me more aware of who I am, who Olorun Nishola is.
okay.
Do you understand? If I were with someone,
would you, like, is there something you would not be doing that you're doing now?
I'm not sure. I don't know, sincerely. I'm not sure. I don't know. But then I think I'm just more aware of who I am,
okay.
where I am going to, and where I want to be, what my future looks like. Like, I have a glimpse of it. So that is just
So basically, let's put it this way: you have been able to focus on yourself and know that this is where you want to be, this is where you do not want to be. So basically, that is what being single, at least up to this point, that's what you've been able to do with that time, or divert your energy to.
I wouldn't say it's possible you are single and you don't focus on this. There are people who are single who are just, they are hell bent on, I want to be in this relationship. You have to be intentional about the fact that, oh, I want to focus on myself. There are some people who are single who are not focusing on themselves. They are focusing on the fact that this marriage said
you must send
I
them
must
to
marry.
enter. Let us assume now that you can see your 22, 20, a younger version of you anyway. Let's not put an age to it. Is there something you would tell yourself? Is there something you would like to, you would like to be able to change?
Yes. I would tell my younger self to be more flexible. Yeah, I can be really rigid. When I say I want to do something, see that thing, no, but it can change. So I tell my younger self to be more flexible,
Yeah.
open-minded, and not and take charge of my own life in the area of decision making. Not give out that responsibility to somebody else
someone.
because I believe they are spiritually higher or spiritually what's the
Maybe
thing now?
maybe better than you or
Better than me,
something.
yeah, that's the word, like
Yeah.
spiritually better or something. Like no, I would tell my younger self to continue trusting God, because God is able to meet me where I am,
Where
at that
you are.
spiritual level that I am, you know.
Okay.
So those are the
Yeah,
things
but
I
what
would-
what of about like in the area of maybe relationships, like how your relationship life, how is it your love life? I'm
my
going to
love
call it
life,
now.
really, sincerely, people who know me personally, a lot of people are like, Shola, you have a job now, Shola, you are this, Shola, you are that. But the thing, the matter of fact is, you can only know if I have a job or if we are close or when we are close. Do you understand? I do not just display. If I've ever displayed my job, but just know that, you know, there's a level. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But then I have never been at, or should I say, yes, we both probably in the relationship or in a relationship, you and the guy probably has, you know, some faults, you know, for
Yeah.
something to, but it has never come from me. Majority of it has never come from me. Do you
Okay.
understand? So I do not, there's nothing I would have wanted to change in my love life.
life.
At the time it happened, well, I enjoyed it, and is that not what life is about?
Life is about enjoying the moment.
Yes, I enjoyed it, and well, that relationship that time we are saying me for no spoil.
He don't
Don't
spoil.
spoil.
So this is about the last question for this first episode.
Aww.
I don't know.
And I actually
enjoyed
the
doing this.
conversation.
So I'm really grateful that you really did this. It's a big deal, honestly. Like, okay, so the last question. So you're 29 now. So which means that next year, 2022, you'll be 30. So what happens when you clock 30 and you know there's no relationship? You're just assuming, okay, like let's just assume that you know at 30 there's no relationship and there is no boo or man.
Hey,
So does anything-
I don't.
So does anything change?
Sincerely, I do not pray that by 30 I won't be in a relationship. But let's just assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's just
I
assume
know.
because
I
it's
get
a
your point.
50-50
Yeah,
thing.
the thing is, there are some things that are flying about and we don't see, you know. But then I'm covered by a lot of G. I do not pray that at 30 I'm not even in a relationship or something. I'm praying
Yeah.
that before then. But let's just assume that I'm still single. So when I clocked 29, not 39, 29. So when I clocked 29,
Yeah.
I became more intentional about my life, and it's not going to stop.
Okay.
You know, I became more. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to 30. Like I am so looking forward to it. So I'm going to be more intentional about my relationships. That's my relationship with people. There are some people
Yeah.
I'm practically going to tell, please, I don't want your friendship anymore. You know, I'm going to be intentional about my life, and I know that I'm going to. 30 is just going to be about living a quality life.
Okay.
You know, living a there's nothing will change. I'm just going to be more beautiful. You know, the older the wine and the sweeter it.
The
I'm
sweet.
going to be more intentional about my family, my siblings, my career. Yes, I'm going to be more intentional about my career.
About it.
Pursue this thing. You know, I'm just going to be more. It's just about intentionality.
So basically for you, even at 30, without any your relationship status changing, life goes on. You're living your life to the fullest, and you know, slaying and making money.
Allow me to. Actually, I can't kill. See, I can't kill myself. That's just the thing about life. You can't kill because I don't know who the man. I can't go and. But then wherever you are back.
She's waiting.
You will come and meet me.
She's
but then the
waiting.
thing is that I can't kill myself. I just have to. I have to live my life. There were some opportunities I should have latched onto. There were some opportunities I should have leveraged on, but then I was waiting. I was like, marriage will come, and see, years later, marriage has not come. So I cannot keep waiting. I cannot keep sitting down for a man to come and meet me. I want a man to meet me walking, not just sit down and not doing anything. So I need to. If it is my career, I need to work hard, you know, at it. So that when the man eventually comes, he knows that before
has
I
come to meet
my
someone
wife
who
will be
has
just
a
one of the-
table.
Do you understand?
Who has a
So
table.
what are you bringing to the table? You know, the table is said, but what are you bringing?
What are you bringing?
So
Yeah.
30 is about living my life.
Those are the questions I have written down for her. And I think basically we've covered like everything from why to, you know, to basically everything. And I think that this would, I'm hoping that this would speak to someone out there that, you know, sometimes we need to push society aside with all this age construct, and you should be married at this age, you should be doing this at this age. Marriage is beautiful, love is beautiful, right? But if it does not happen, you're not going to die. You can't kill yourself. For marriage now, I've heard, I've seen people say that it is better to get into it late, right? I don't even believe there's anything as late. There's anything like late or early.
The fact that, sorry to cut you, but then the fact that you get into a marriage late or you marry late does not mean that you're going to have a good and beautiful marriage.
Yeah,
it's not like
exactly.
there are no guys asking me out.
But
as
the
a matter of fact,
quality.
do you understand? And sometimes it's not about the quality. These men are quality men, but then those things that mean something to me may not mean something. Our values
To them.
may
Values
not
might not align,
Do you
might
understand?
differ.
So the thing is, there are times that pressure will make you desperate. I've been there, but I'm so grateful to God. I've never been desperate, but I'm just saying that if you're not careful, pressure will make you desperate. People will pressure you into, and when you get married out of desperation, God. Because for me, I
Because
look
it
at
means
the fact
it means that you're just going to settle for the next available
do you understand? For
person.
me, I look at the fact that it's not wedding. People come to my wedding, and the next day it will be you and
They're
this
just
man.
coming to eat rice.
Do you understand? It will be you
And
and this
slay
man
at your
So
wedding.
the thing is, our times are different, and there's this thing about the fact that the way we magnify one thing above the other. There was a time a friend asked me and said, "Oh, Shola, why are you not married? Is it this feminism thing or this gender equality thing that is?" And then
I think that's like another topic
yeah, he
for
was asking.
another
He was
day.
actually asking genuinely. Do you understand? So I explained to him. I said, "See, this life is just like you want a scholarship. I want marriage. The next person wants a child. This other person wants something else, and we are all begging God for it.
For it,
Do you understand? But because mine looks like marriage is because social construct now, you feel like scholarship is small now. Meanwhile, our requests before God are just the same.
Same. Anyway, thank you for opening my first episode, Friendship Talk.
That's how she bullies me. But then,
Thank you for coming on my first. Thank you for coming on my first episode.
You're
This
welcome.
actually means a lot, and I'm really hoping that this would spark conversations, and I would get more women, actually, not just people, more women to come on here, and then we'd have these conversations that have to do with basically women, and we'll be able to make someone out there feel better and all of that, right? Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in another video.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button.
Press it. Blows powder.